Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host of the UFC Forecast, and we're back for the final predictions and post-weigh-in face-off show for UFC Paris. And this card is full of debuting fighters, a bunch of fighters we haven't seen before, so we got to be careful with our money. Make sure we don't invest too much on these fighters that we didn't see. So let's get right into it. Let's watch these face-offs. Starting it off with the prelims, we got Zarah, Fairn, and Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti's one of these debuting fighters, fighting an experienced girl in Zarah Fairn, but at the same time, she's not that experienced. She's 6-5, and she's old in her career. Lately, she's been losing, and I expect her to lose again at home, unfortunately. She is durable. She absorbs a lot of strikes, and she didn't get finished against Namajunas, surprisingly, in that last fight. And this girl, Cavalcanti, she just won a 5-round fight with a 4-2 opponent, won that fight by a decision. She also has 2 decision wins and 3 knockouts. Her knockouts are on round 1 as well. But in this fight, I see it going the distance. The debut fighter, the younger fighter here, and Jacqueline Cavalcanti is going to get the job done. But like I said, I'm not going to invest too heavily in a fighter that I haven't seen fight before, and especially in a women's fight. But for the pick, definitely going with the wide favorite here in the newcomer, Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And next up, we got a pick that I'm a lot more confident in here. Farid Basharat versus Kleydson Rodrigues. They face off, and it's intense. Farid is talking to him. But Kleydson Rodrigues, he's ready to go. And in this fight, Kleidson's moving up a weight class. He had to put on some weight, and it looks like he put it on pretty good. He looks in good shape in this fight, but unfortunately, his last fight was against Shannon Ross. And now he's fighting Farid Basharat, undefeated fighter. That is a huge step up in competition. That's why I'm so confident. And another thing, too, like Farid is training with his brother and a lot of other high-level guys. So he's getting the looks in the gym. I don't think Kleydson Rodrigues will show him anything that he hasn't seen yet. He's a pretty promising prospect at 10-0, and his nickname's Furious, and he fights very furious as well. I expect him to get some takedowns here. He averages quite a few of them with a good percentage. And Kleydson Rodrigues, his takedown defense is not very good at all. At flyweight, he lost a fight to CJ Vergara. He got taken down and controlled in that fight. For me, Kleydson Rodrigues is just a fun brawler to watch. 5 out of 6 first-round finishes, but not over the best competition, and he's going to have a tough time against UFC caliber competition, in my opinion. And next up, we got another confident pick for me, Joselyn Edwards against Nora Cornolle. And Cornolle, she didn't look too good at the weigh-ins, and at the face-offs, I don't think she looks that great either. Joselyn Edwards has the height on her. She's going to have the reach advantage, and she has experience by far in this fight. She's looked good in the UFC, winning by a decision. She's a decision dominator, and I expect her to dominate another one here by a decision and teach Nora Cornolle what it's like to be inside the UFC. Nora has 5 knockouts, 3 of them in the first round, but these are low-level opponents again, 4-3, 0-1, 12-12. I will never back a fighter that's fighting that low level of competition, and especially against a fighter that's been inside the UFC and has been picking up wins. I got to go with Joselyn Edwards here with pretty high confidence, and it's pretty good value too. And next up, we got a banger fight between France's favorite Taylor Lapilus against Caolan Loughran. And Loughran's giving the crowd the finger. He's pumped up, ready to go, and he looks ripped. Not gonna lie, he looks ripped, and he has Ireland behind him. So we got France versus Ireland in this fight. And Lapilus has the experience, has only lost 3 decisions, and 2 of them come to 2 very good Russians, 20-3, 13-3 records. So those guys were very good, high-level competition to be fighting against. And he also has a loss inside the UFC to 20-9, Eric Perez. That was a while ago, and he went 3-1 inside the UFC. Not really sure why they kept him around. He didn't look too bad at the time. He was pretty promising, but they let him go, and now he's getting his chance back. And I think he's going to make the most of it here. His last fight was against the Aries FC champ, Demarte Pena, who was undefeated at the time. This guy has an incredible takedown defense, and I don't think Loughran will have much success with takedowns or striking here. He tends to be flat-footed, just loading up on these heavy shots. As you guys can see, Loughran is short and stocky, but he really does load up on his power, and he's going to be relying on it. I definitely won't be trusting it. I'll side with the France favorite here, Taylor Lapilus, to get the job done. But I would be cautious parlaying this guy because you never know. An undefeated Ireland prospect could be the real deal. And watching tape, this guy does load up on his shots and has some serious power. And next up, we got a banger fight between Ange, Loosa, and Rhys McKee. These guys are going to throw down. McKee has a 100% finish rate. He's getting a chance back in the UFC after going 0-2. So he really wants to get a win here by finish. But his last couple wins are coming late. 2 in round 3, 1 in round 4. I don't think he's going to be able to find it against a tough guy like Ange Loosa, who went the distance with Jack Della Maddalena. Ange Loosa is going to load up on some shots and likely catch him in this fight. I thought it was going to go the distance. Now I'm kind of leaning knockout. Ange Loosa against AJ Fletcher, watching tape there. He was thrown with some heat. And if one of those land on a guy like Rhys McKee, like, it's probably going to be lights out, honestly, for McKee. He holds his chin high, and he's been fighting in Cage Warriors. Not going to lie, I do not like these Cage Warriors fighters. And as you can tell, I'm not supporting any of them on this card. I'm not taking Loughran. I'm not going to be taking McKee. And this might be an unpopular opinion with some people, but I don't think the Cage Warrior prospects are that high level. We just seen a lightweight champion lose in the Dana White Contender Series, and that was a good enough warning for me to stay away from them this week in Paris. I think the favorite in this fight, Ange Loosa, is going to dominate. Probably find the knockout shot. Loosa is looking yoked here at the face-offs. He's going to have a lot of steam behind his punches as well. And not to forget, he's training at Kill Cliff FC. We really like supporting those guys here at the UFC Forecast. They have been helping us cash tickets, and we know we can trust them a hell of a lot more than these Cage Warrior prospects. And next up, we got the prelim headliner, and I'm not quite sure how this is still the headliner. This is a regional scene fight. And these guys are explosive. They're going to be throwing bombs in there. Someone's going to get knocked out, but clearly the favorite's going to get the win here in France. He's a France fighter, and he has a lot more experience as well. His competition is also higher level. Manolo Zecchini has a knockout over a 2-5 opponent of 9-5, 12-13. And then he went the distance with a 9-8 opponent. I don't think this guy from Italy is going to work out here in the UFC. This guy looks like an Italian male stripper. He doesn't really look like a fighter at all. Morgan Charrière looks like he's going to rip his head off, and I believe he's going to find that knockout shot here. And I'm calling the round 2 knockout for Morgan Charrière. From watching tape, he looks like a bit of a slow starter, so I'm going to forecast the round 2, but probably not going to sprinkle anything on it because these guys are debuting, and this is one definitely just to take notes on. And next up, we got the main event between two France fighters, William Gomis and Yanis Ghemmouri. And a lot of people are going to be on the side of Ghemmouri this week, because my underdog was going to be Lucas Almeida against William Gomis. Gomis is super low output, and he's really hard to trust with your money, even though he's pulled off 2 wins inside the UFC against Francis Marshall and Gennaro Aarons, 2 very tough fighters. And based off those 2 wins, just squeezing them out, I will take William Gomis here by a decision. It's $2. You can double up on that, and I kind of think it's safe. Like, in France, 2 France fighters, they likely favor Gomis a little bit more because he's been inside the UFC. UFC probably favors him a little bit more. I think he gets it done here by a decision. And if you're looking at the odds, Gomis decision, it's looking pretty good right now, doubling your money. The Yanis Ghemmouri, like, I have it highlighted here. He's fought some pretty low-level competition. In his last win, it was a 10-6 opponent from Pakistan. No shame in the Pakistan opponents. They're pretty high level, but I don't think they're as good as a France fighter or, you know, an American fighter, something like that. Like the Desert Warrior, Yanis Ghemmouri, in his debut here, he is going to struggle. He'll probably get taken down, and he won't be able to land too many shots on William Gomis. Gomis has an incredible striking defense. He's training at the MMA factory with some pretty big names. I got to expect he's getting the looks in at the gym. He's training super hard, and he's going to get the job done against a guy that probably would not be in the UFC if this card wasn't in France. And next up, we got one of my most confident picks of the week, Volkan Ozdemir against Bogdan Gazkov. And Gazkov's not even making eye contact here at the face-offs. You know, he does look kind of scary. We got 2 bald-headed guys here, though. And I think Volkan, the guy with the experience, the guy that's fought DC, Yuri Prohaska, Magomed Ankalaev, he's going to get it done here in no time. I'm calling it no time. Round 1 KO. He has 12 knockouts, and 11 of those were in the first round. That's how he got his nickname, No Time. And I expect us to see it again here. Bogdan Gazkov was knocked out to a guy that got knocked out to Albert Duraev, and that was only 3 years ago. And he's been fighting fucking cans. Absolute tomato cans. He's finishing these guys in like 30 seconds, 3 minutes. Like, first round, Volkan's going to crack him with a counter shot and sleep him. And round 1's 350 right now. If you stay tuned to the props of the week at the end, he is one of my value props. And another thing to note too about this fight that might boost your confidence, Volkan Ozdemir was supposed to fight Asmat Mirzakhanov in this fight. So he was prepared to fight a guy like that who's actually fought credible guys rather than a guy like Bogdan Gazkov who, like I said, fought fucking tomato cans. And next fight of the night, we got the lock of the card, Benoit Saint-Denis against Diego Moises. Benoit Saint-Denis, he's another fighter fighting at home. He's going to have home soil advantage here. And he has a 100% finish rate. He's looked incredible in his last 3 fights. And I'm not going to say lock in that finish. I'm going to say he's going to win this fight for sure. He could squeeze out his first ever decision win here against a tough opponent, Diego Moises. I'm going to give Moises credit here. He is durable, But that knockout loss to Joel Alvarez, I have that one circled. And when I play this fight over in my head, I kind of see it going Benoit Saint Denis in round 1 by KO as well. You know, he's going to come out there high pressure, throwing hands. And Moises, I don't know if we can trust his chin anymore. He has a very low striking output and accuracy, and on the feet, he's kind of outmatched against Benoit Saint Denis. On the ground, that's where it's going to be a little bit closer. Moises did survive till round 4 with Islam Makhachev. And Benoit Saint Denis, he has 6 subs and only 2 KOs, but, you know, I have a good feeling he's going to find that knockout shot. He's going to come out there high pressure and make a name for himself in the lightweight division. Thiago won't be able to threaten him whatsoever on the feet, especially with Benoit Saint Denis having that 3-inch reach advantage. If this fight goes the distance, Benoit Saint Denis is going to win. But for the final forecast on this fight, I'm going to trust my balls. I'm going Benoit Saint Denis round 1. And you know what? I better throw on that goddamn tinfoil hat wherever it is, because I forgot to do it on the early prediction show. And the week before, it brought me good luck here. Benoit Saint Denis, lock of the goddamn card. He's 161 money line. That's the safest way to go about it, because Rinya Nakamura, he was a huge favorite, was not able to find me the finish, and that hurt me on some parlays. I'm going to play it safe. Benoit Saint Denis, money line. And like I said, if Benoit Saint Denis does not win this fight, I'm going to take a beer and I'm going to pour it in my pants. That's what you call a pants beer. I'm going to do it for the forecasters, because I 100% guarantee you that Benoit Saint Denis is going to smash Thiago Moises in this fight. And now it's time for the co-main event of the evening. Rose Namajunas and Manon Fiorot. And Fiorot looks masculine. Holy shit, like, she looks pretty big for 125, and Rose is obviously making the jump up here. She formerly fought a weight class down, but she beat Weili Zhang twice. Her last 2 wins were against Weili Zhang. Hard to discredit Rose, right? Very hard to discredit her. Looking at her highlights, they're fucking incredible. She has to be one of my favorite female fighters, but to back her in this fight as an underdog, I just could not bring myself to do it. It was tough. I'm not going to lie, it was tough. I know a lot of people are going to not like the pick of Manon Fiorot, but you got to agree, Manon Fiorot's going to have more volume. She's going to hit harder. She can probably avoid the takedowns, maybe get some takedowns of her own. If it goes the distance, and I think it will, she's going to win on the judges' scorecards, rather, if we like it or not, right? She could get robbed or win by robbery here. Rose Namajunas could get robbed is what I'm saying here. It's in Paris. I don't really want to go against a Paris fighter, especially if it's going to go the distance here. I got to go with Manon Fiorot. Deep down in my heart, I would like to see Rose win. She doesn't get as much credit as she does deserve. You know, she could pull it off, but I just don't see it happening, especially in France here. I got to go with the favorite, Manon Fiorot, to get the job done by a decision. And next up, we got the main event of the evening. And a lot of people are back and forth on this one. And all the forecasters are going to know what to do here. We're going to smash Ciryl Gane by KO against Serghei Spivac, who's been knocked out twice in the first round to Walt Harris and Tom Aspinall. You know, he's looked like a good hammer, but when it's time for him to be the nail, he folds and he crumbles, and it's in Paris. And I expect Ciryl Gane to come back after that loss to John Jones and look incredible and get the job done here by knockout. Now, I'm thinking it's going to be under 1.5 if you stay tuned. I didn't have an underdog of the week. I do have an over-under of the week now. And the over-under is under 1.5 for this fight. I believe Ciryl Gane will come out here and spark Serghei Spivac, put him on his ass, and avoid those takedowns. Derek Lewis got up 5 times against Serghei Spivac on the takedowns. And Ciryl Gane is a lot quicker on his feet. He's in and out, super technical. He's not going to get taken down like Derek Lewis did. He's going to be able to get back up quick, and he's going to snipe. He's going to snipe, and on Betway right now, you can super boost Ciryl Gane KO. Last super boost was Sean O'Malley for a knockout, and that hit. So this week, I'm super confident Ciryl Gane will cash in. Now it's time for the props of the week. Starting it off with the lock prop of the week. I'm going to be locking in Ciryl Gane by the KO. Double your money, $2. If you want to super boost it for the $350, I recommend you to do that as well. But I tried to do that, and you only can put so much money down on the knockout for Ciryl Gane. So whatever you can put down on the super boost, I recommend you to, because that's an easy triple your money there. Serghei Spivac is going to fail on takedowns in this fight, and he's going to crumble. And next up for the value prop of the week, I got Volkan Ozdemir in round 1, showing Bogdan Gazkov what it's like to be inside the UFC, and showing him what it's like to have UFC experience as well. He's going to hit super hard, and it's going to be no time once again. 12 knockouts with 11 of those in the first round. A lot of people are going to be sleeping on Volkan Ozdemir this week, thinking he doesn't have it still, and they're going to be chasing underdogs. But guess what? Round 1, Volkan Ozdemir, he's going to show us that money in no time. And next up, didn't have an underdog of the week, So I didn't have an underdog prop of the week. I'll do another value prop. Fuck it. We'll go Benoit Saint Denis KO since I was so confident in that. And this is another one at plus 250, 350 on Betway Sportsbook. I'm on stake now as well, so I can get some better prices on that. But I'll go with the plus 350. I'm pretty confident that he'll get the KO shot here round 1 against Diego Moises, who was knocked out in round 1 to Joel Alvarez, who is more of a submission artist. Joel Alvarez doesn't get that many knockouts, and Benoit Saint Denis is a very high-pressure fighter fighting at home here. 100% finish rate. I expect him to get it done by finish. But like I said, play it by money line. He's the lock of the week. We want to guarantee bread this week in Paris. And that's why he's my lock of the week. Money line, minus 150. Great value on him. Lock of the week. Lock it in right now. Let's get it. And the over-under of the week. Didn't have an underdog of the week. So I went to the drawing board and I came up with Ciryl, Gane, and Serghei Spivac under 1.5 rounds. It's plus 150. I'm not locking it in. I'm not 100% this is going to hit, but this is what my over-under of the week is this week. There's no underdog of the week. For confidence level this week, it's probably 60 to 75%. It's going to end in under 1.5 rounds for Ciryl Gane, but there is potential for Serghei Spivac to get that submission win. I would hate for that to happen because my Patreon members have exclusive early access to all my bets. It's only $5 a month. It's a great way to support me, and I really appreciate that support. And I also have a Discord up and running as well, so I expect you guys to join that, because once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm giving away $500, and we're super close. We're under 40 subscribers away, and then I'm giving that $500 away in Canadian dollars to one forecaster in the Discord chat. So what I'm going to do is just set up a giveaway bot and give away that $500 to someone. Only one forecaster is going to win it, and they're going to be super stoked about that. So jump in the Discord. I really appreciate that support, and we're ready to make some bread here in Paris. Stay tuned because I got some UFC cards there as well. I'm going to open those up maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. And on top of that, I got my DC action figure from Funko Pop. And I ordered him on Amazon last week because I wanted to add to the UFC forecast setup. So soon, hopefully I have a poster here of maybe John Jones and maybe a GSP poster here as well. Let me know in the comments below if you like my UFC forecast setup and the new additions. I got a new mouse as well. It's lighting up. Fucking pretty cool. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. Jump in that Discord and let's go make our fucking bread.